This is a daily space update for November 1st, 2008. In the news today, NASA managers completed a review Thursday of Space Shuttle Endeavour's readiness for flight and selected the official launch date for the STS-126 mission. Commander Chris Ferguson and his 6 crewmates are scheduled to lift off to the International Space Station at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 14th.
I'd like to start out by talking about and thanking the team that works on Atlantis. Take you back in time about a month or so. We had 2 vehicles out. The pad. Atlantis was the prime vehicle, and Endeavour was the rescue vehicle. And we got the news about the Hubble Space Telescope, and of course that turned into standing down on the Atlantis flight for us. And I'd just like to commend the team that works on Atlantis because they took it in stride. It seems like if there's ever a team that gets bit by things like this, it's Team Atlantis. It's gotten them before, and it got them this time again, and they always rise to the occasion, and they do it with their chins up and knowing that they're doing it for the betterment of the program, and in this case for the Hubble Space Telescope. So for Angie Brewer and her team, thank you very much, and we'll get you launched as soon as we can. Out on Pad A tonight is Endeavour. We rolled Endeavour around about a week or so ago, as I recall. The dates are kind of running together in my mind right now. We had a lot of work to do before we could roll around. We had to get the payload out of the payload changeout room and back to the PHSF, or Payload Hazardous Servicing Facility. The payloads people stood up a team very, very well and accomplished that task 2 days ahead of schedule because we saw some bad weather coming, and we asked them to get back to their safe haven, as it were, a couple of days early, and they pulled that off with flying colors. And then on the day we rolled around from Pad B to Pad A, we had to get the canister down first, and that was a very well choreographed operation. We were still getting the canister down when we gave the go to roll from Pad B to Pad A. So just a tremendous job there, especially by the structures folks. Structures engineers and the technicians that work around the Space Center are just doing a fabulous job. We put out the challenge to them, and they always stand up and do the job that we know they can do, and so thanks to them too. Out at Pad A, we have a very nominal flow ahead of us. We have 4 days of contingency that we can play with if we need to. We don't see that we're going to need any of those days right now. We have our ordnance installation to go and our hyper pressurization on the tanks, and then we'll get into launch countdown. So very, very standard pad flow for us, and we're looking forward to launching Endeavour and pressing on with the next mission as we get direction to do so. So Team Endeavour is ready to go, and Atlantis will get to you when we can. Thanks.
It's been about 5 months since I was here. That seems like an entirely too long of a period of time. The real heroes to me for getting ready for this flight is the teams that put the hardware together and got 2 vehicles out on Pad A and Pad B for us in preparation for the Hubble flight. And of course, when we needed to stand down from the Hubble part, Mike's team did an amazing job at getting the vehicle reconfigured so that we could support STS-126 here, and they've just done an absolutely wonderful job. I know Mike will talk about that a little bit more, but just getting all that hardware to the Cape and integrated and ready to go has been an amazing effort. When you look at STS-126 on the surface, it doesn't look that exciting. It's an MPLM flight with 4 EVAs, and that could not be more wrong. And I think you have to dig a little deeper and think about what we're really doing. Inside this MPLM that we're carrying up to the station is really NASA's first almost closed-loop environmental system that will reprocess water, will produce oxygen, will be able to scrub the environment for the astronauts. And what an enabling technology that is for lunar operations or interplanetary operations. It's the type of thing that we had hoped to use the station for, and that will dovetail very well into the next programs that NASA is working on. And the EVAs are the same way. 3 of the 4 EVAs that we're doing are to do an unexpected repair of major hardware, large scale things. We're going to clean up the solar array rotary joint, replace some hardware, do some things that we did not anticipate doing when the station was originally designed, but the team on the ground came up with procedures, they developed hardware, the crew is trained to it, and now we're going to go out with great confidence and do this. So if you think about lunar, if you think about lunar surface operations, if you think about interplanetary operations, that's the kind of thing you have to be prepared to respond to and be able to do. So while 126 may look like, yeah, they're doing another MPLM and some EVAs, it's really much deeper than that. It is demonstrating capabilities that we're going to need for the next 40, 50 years of space operations that we do. So we shouldn't miss that point. We did a full review with the shuttle program a week ago, and we brought that forward to to the agency flight readiness review. It was very comprehensive, but we came out of there with no significant issues that we were working, except for the small minority opinion with the main engines. There were no other dissenting opinions. We did not bring any risks forward for this flight that the agency needed to adjudicate. So it was a very clean flight readiness review. We're in very good shape to go fly. As you saw, the crew just completed their test countdown yesterday. Today's Thursday. Yesterday. And it went extremely well. The vehicle performed very well. Of course, the crew was thrilled to be here and go through the training procedures. And they'll go back to Houston. We have several days of training that we need to do with the crew, and then they'll show up 15 days from now, and we'll be ready to go launch. So overall, the shuttle program is doing extremely well. The team has done an amazing job to turn the vehicles around and get ready to go fly this flight. So we're really looking forward to getting back into orbit.
Ferguson will be joined on STS-126 by pilot Eric Bowe and mission specialists Donald Pettit, Steve Bowen, Heidi Marie Stefanishin-Piper, Shane Kimbrough, and Sandra Magnus. Magnus will replace current space station crew member Greg Chamitoff, who has been aboard the station for more than 5 months since he launched to the outpost in May of this year. She will return to Earth during the next shuttle mission, STS-119, targeted to launch in February 2009. Also today, NASA managers have announced that they will not meet a February 2009 launch date for the delayed 5th and final shuttle mission to the Hubble Space Telescope. The decision comes after engineers completed assessments of the work needed to fly a second data handling unit for the telescope. The unit will replace one that failed on Hubble in late September, causing the agency to postpone the servicing mission, which had been targeted for October 14th. The Hubble Flight Spare, known as the Science Instrument Command and Data Handling System, has been at Goddard since it was originally delivered as a backup system in 1991. The unit currently is undergoing testing and examination to identify and correct any problems. That work will continue until mid-December, and then this payload will be readied for the Space Shuttle's flight on STS-125 to service the Hubble Space Telescope. The earliest that mission will take place now would be May of next year. This has been a daily space update for November 1st, 2008. Thank you for watching and listening. You may go to our website at dailyspaceupdate.com for our archive of podcasts. And for more space news and information, visit the Spacarium at www.spacearium.com or spaceflightnews.net. And be sure to listen for the next Daily Space Update.